My name is Brenda Robinson, and I'm the first black woman pilot ever in the history of the United States Navy. And I wanted to talk to you because I have a company called Successful Attitude. And it really is it really is the way I think. I could call it positive attitude, but that could be a dorky kind of name of a company, but I actually try to make people focus on forward, and I want them to understand how to handle the negative. And I had a lecture, I was a keynote speaker in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I told them, welcome to my elementary school leadership training class. And essentially, I wish that I learned when I was in elementary school what I have now been able to take throughout my entire life of confidence building, leadership, knowledge, and a lot of people ask me about, well, how do you handle adversity? How do you handle fear? And all of those things have a positive direction and a way to handle those. And if you'll ask me later on, I'll be able to give you maybe some tidbits on one or two of those. But they're very simple, they're forward moving, I sleep well, my blood pressure is low because I do not take on the craziness of those swirls around us. I just move forward, and I am energized by that, and I move forward. So I try to give this to young people. I want them to see that. Now, imagine or remember what it was like when you were in high school, and you started class on day 1. Then you got to day 21, 61, 81, and after a while you're bogged down with work, schoolwork, homework, tests. Then you have your parents on your case, your teachers on your case, and after a while you're in school going, man, why am I here? You know, what I could figure out something else that I would rather be doing. I can't wait until this evening when I get off of class. I can't wait until Friday so I can hang out with my friends. These are the focuses of teenagers, and I get that because I was one. So what I do is I try to figure out what's the spark that would make them go, oh, wait, hey, something in the future that I could be planning for, that looks interesting. So my foot in the door is aviation. So what I do is I go around the Carolinas here specifically because my program is portable. I go to I'm going to different airports. I've gone to Monroe, I've gone to Concord a couple of times, I've gone to the Charlotte Douglas, and now my camp is going to be in Rock Hill during the Christmas holidays, 28th and the 29th of December. It's called Aviation Camp of the Carolinas. So now what I'm going to do is put all that together. I say, come to where I am to an airport. I go around the airport and I find all the tenants on board the airport and I go, I want you to talk to the kids, and you can only talk for 15 minutes because they're not listening after that. Tell them what you like about your job, tell them what's exciting about it, and tell them like the most interesting thing that's ever happened. I want them to see that because I have to tell you, I would not be a pilot today had I gone forward with my air traffic control aspirations, and I still think that that's awesome. I didn't know anything about piloting an airplane, so that means I really didn't know anything about aviation. But I saw an air traffic control tower and I go, hold the phone, this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. So I saw something that actually triggered me, and it even sent me to the college that I ended up going to, which I diverted into other things and ended up fine. So I want kids to actually have that spark. So when they go back to school the next time, like when school starts again, they have a purpose. They're sitting like, well, before it was kind of boring, but now I see not only that there's careers out there that I didn't know were available to me that I could be doing, and I now have a direction and a reason for me to want to study hard. I don't tell them how hard it is to study. You know, I don't tell them how much work it is. I don't care. I had a young man look at me. He folded his arms. He looked up and down. You know, black chick, right? He looks at me and he goes, well, if you can do this, I can do this. And I was in my full airline uniform and whatnot. I looked at him. My brain said to me, he just hurt my last feeling. Because he thought it was easy. I mean, he just couldn't comprehend the fact that someone that looked like me was actually flying airplanes. And I looked over at him and I go, you are absolutely right. Because you can't unring that bell. I don't care if he doesn't know how hard it is, because he's going to study hard, because I had to study twice as hard as I think that anybody else that on my level had to study. So it doesn't matter what it is. If you see something that you want, you're going to knock yourself out for it, and that's what I wanted that young man to think. Before I walked into the classroom in front of him, he did not even know that what I did was even available to him. It was not in his circle of interest or fear or anybody that ever talked to him about it. Aviation never came up. And so when those wheels start turning, I don't care if they go into aviation. I want the wheels to start turning and go, well, if I'm, aviation might not be my interest, but if she's doing that, then there's maybe some other stuff out there that I thought was out of my reach and now I can reach. So that's why I wanted to tell you what Aviation Camp of the Carolines was and what I'm doing. Now, the other thing that I do is because now I have a captive audience, this is when I talk to them about teenage issues. Because as teenagers, we have so much stuff clouding us, surrounding us, and keeping us from moving forward. We have the negative people, friends, issues, maybe there's bullies. I talk to the students and now I get some information out of them so that I can talk to them about, so how do you handle adversity? How do you handle fear? And my favorite is my confidence is everything. And I can't even go through that here today because it's a little bit of a process. But an elementary school kid can understand what I'm saying to them, and they're confident the moment they walk out the door. They run up to me in the hallway, trying to practice the little thing that I've taught them because they're so excited about it because they didn't know that when the teacher kept telling them to stand up straight, shoulders back and all that kind of stuff, they didn't know what that was for. But once I got through with them, they were like proud people. They're just, like, I got this all going on, and that's exactly what I want them to see. Once they get that all going on, now they can clearly see what they want to do for the future. They can clearly start to figure out what they want, how they want to study, how hard they're going to have to study, and they'll start looking into all of these things on their own, and that's what I try to bring them together and talk to them about. One last thing is, when people tell you, oh, all you had to do was work really, really hard, and I get that, I understand that, but nobody actually tells you what to do. So I was telling these adults this weekend that it's easy for you to say, just work hard, just work harder. If you're having a problem, do whatever you can. But this is what I say. This is the reason why. Easiest to say is to work hard or to reach for the prize. It's about, what will I tell myself every morning when I wake up? Looking back on this day, this moment, this brick wall that I knew was coming, or those wagging tongues, what would I say to myself as far as how am I going to motivate myself to move forward? That's exactly what I'm looking for. I kind of look at confidence in a different angle from other folks. I want you to understand what are these things that I went through when I was going through flight school, basic training. I always ask, what was that about, basic training? They actually wanted to bring a group of people that were normal civilians, bring them together, and then they scare and work the bejesus out of them, and then they come back again later on and show them the door, like, okay, if you don't like this, you have a problem with this, you want to whine, you want to complain, here's the door, please get out. And what they have left are those people that are leaders, who are not whiners, who are doers, who will take charge, who are team players. Those are the folks that they want to keep, the ones that fight it out, and that's why I love the military, but I know how to teach that to young people. So there's a lot of things that I like to put together for the students. The camp is just my excuse to get them to talk about confidence and leadership issues, and then I want them to springboard out of my camp with a whole new feeling of, yeah, I can do something here. It doesn't matter what it is they want to do. That's what I want them to consider and think about. So, thank you.